but we never fight. Ask him.
Dmitry?
It looks like he fight, yeah?
Что ты снимаешь? Себя сними.
It's fight week already, but Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev had a very different plan for fight fans as they collided at an airport after a heated argument.
That picture with him recently in Saudi Arabia. What were the conversations like between you and Dmitry? Was he friendly? Do you like him?
We shake hand like.
But for the group of people around then, we would have had a very early taste of what fight night was going to look like. Well, right now, if Dmitry Bivol has a point of weakness, it's none other than his ex-wife, who has been more of a curse than a blessing in his preparation for the biggest night of his boxing career.
I don't have respect at all to a man who can beat a mother of his kids, but more, I don't have respect to a person who abandoned his own kids.
The pair of Russian fighters met at an airport in Saudi Arabia, just as they were coming in to begin preparations for their fight week. Interestingly, while they walked towards each other to exchange pleasantries, Artur Beterbiev uttered a statement that Bivol found very offensive. He said, "Tell your wife that I'll bang you both." Well, that was pretty overboard for many who had always considered Artur Beterbiev as a man of few words. Those were a few words from the unified champion, but they were as damaging as a bomb explosion. He said this and walked past Bivol, so quickly pulled him back and questioned why he'd do that in the first place. Beterbiev in turn was ready for whatever was going to happen, but both fighters were pulled apart from each other before things became more chaotic. Dmitry Bivol is not your usual boxer. The World Boxing Association light heavyweight champion is a quiet boxer who rarely takes the storm with his verbal warfare. He employs the same principle inside the boxing ring as he tries to make his fights look classy and effortless instead of going to war.
His own kids, who doesn't care about how they live, who doesn't pay alimony.
Dmitry Bivol has a much tougher fight on his hands than Artur.
It's a lesson that he learned from his father. It helped him attain success not only in his amateur career, but also clinch the top spot in the light heavyweight division after he turned pro. So whenever the Russian steps into the ring, there is a natural tendency to know about his early life and how he picked up the sport of boxing. The curiosity also extends to his family and his parents. As Bivol is a man of few words and a private person, he doesn't often reveal his personal life to the fans.
Has a much tougher fight on his hands than Artur Beterbiev. This woman is out for blood.
However, his personal life is all in the public glare. This follows the aftermath of his divorce from ex-wife Ekaterina, which has become contentious. Ekaterina has leveled serious allegations against the undefeated fighter and is now actively advocating for him to lose. Dmitry Bivol was previously married to his wife Ekaterina Bivol. However, it is rumored that in the aftermath of his win over Canelo back in 2022, their relationship turned sour. Bivol's former wife, Ekaterina, claimed that the fame and fortune brought on by Bivol's boxing career changed him, with their separation then divorce. Not only that, but Bivol's ex-wife has since launched a string of accusations against her husband via social media. She is even rooting for Bivol's opponent, Artur Beterbiev, to beat him in their huge fight on October 12th.
She on his ass. I'm really intrigued to see how Bivol stays focused with all this going on. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Since their separation, Dmitry Bivol is reportedly not in a relationship or dating anyone and is indeed a single man. He seems very much concentrating on his boxing career now, rather than his relationships. Although it seems the relationship between Dmitry Bivol and his ex-wife Ekaterina isn't a particularly healthy one, the pair do have 2 children together. On October 12th, Bivol will be fighting against Artur Beterbiev in a fight that has taken years to take place due to boxing politics. Prior to the clash, Bivol's ex-wife Ekaterina took to social media to blast him for hiding his money and not paying enough for child support.
They write me, you're such a slut, you are no one, and the thing is that then they realize that I have kids and they're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that you have 2 kids.
She has publicly criticized him for alleged stinginess on matters of child support. Besides, Ekaterina says that Bivol was emotionally abusive alongside physically abusive. She shared many posts indicating that she must have suffered psychological trauma during when she was with Bivol. Cancel Bivol for paying only $1,100 per month for both kids. He is hiding his foreign bank accounts, said Ekaterina. She has further slammed her ex-husband as a coward and has shared with Beterbiev just how he can rain on Bivol.
Sorry, I didn't know that you have 2 kids. From him. I was like, are you moron? The thing is that it's legal to ask for alimony, like I can do it.
According to reports, their relationship turned chaotic after Bivol's win over Canelo Alvarez in 2022. The woman says that the fame as well as fortune customized by Bivol's fighting success changed him fundamentally. The Bivols terminated their 16 years of marriage in the summer. Since then, Ekaterina has been all over social media accusing the 33-year-old Bivol for negligence. Ekaterina has further listed details of all of Bivol's previous injuries to Beterbiev and his team in expectation that her ex loses the bout. In the weeks leading up to what's being billed as the fight of his career, Bivol's ex-wife Ekaterina has chosen this moment to air some damaging secrets. And she's not pulling her punches.
Ask for alimony, like I can do it. But when we went to divorce, they was said that I have my own income and I don't need alimony. And that's
The revelations don't come from a concerned place. They're aimed directly at undermining him as he faces off against Beterbiev for the undisputed title. After all the attacks on me, failure to pay child support for his sons, and complete refusal to communicate with them, I want to tell you everything I know. She says, it's a blistering attack that goes beyond injury reports. She's throwing her full support behind Beterbiev as if his victory would settle more than just a score in the ring. I want to tell you everything I know. He has a stress fracture of a vertebra in his back. All his hands have been operated on, and not just once, 1 elbow for sure, very sore knees, his left ear is constantly swelling. It has been broken many times, and fluid has accumulated in his eye many times. Sometimes he can't see well. But the main thing is that he is a coward. We need your victory, Artur, she confessed.
so I will try to say, to speak, to show you, to talk, I don't know, whatever. Long story short. I'm with Dima since I was 16. My father.
During their divorce, Ekaterina accused Bivol of cheating and domestic violence in social media posts last year. For Bivol, these personal attacks must feel like they're hitting below the belt, especially so close to the fight. With just 2 weeks to go until he meets Beterbiev in Saudi Arabia, his focus should be on the task ahead, but his ex-wife's words threaten to cloud the picture. Dmitry Bivol has enough on his plate as he prepares to step into the ring with Artur Beterbiev on October 12th. But now it seems the punches are coming from a different direction, his personal life. While Bivol has remained tight-lipped in response to the accusations, it's hard to imagine he'll let these claims slide.
Okay, so I'm not gonna talk a lot, I hope so, but the thing is that when I met Dima, I was like, okay, rich, wealthy.
The timing couldn't be worse. Just as he faces what many consider to be his greatest professional challenge, he's forced to contend with his personal life unraveling in public view. Whether these accusations will have any impact on the fight remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure. The punches are coming from more than just one opponent right now. But has it really always been like this? Definitely not. In fact, before the divorce happened, Dmitry Bivol and his wife had been together for 15 years, and it's only sad how sour everything has become.
He bought sometimes food, but we lived in my room. And then after many years,
The 33-year-old was born on December 18, 1990, to Yuri Bivol and Yelena Bivol in Tokmak, Kyrgyzstan, when it was still part of the Soviet Union. Interestingly, his father and his mother both were born in the USSR, but his father was really born in present-day Moldova and could only speak Moldovan till he was 10. His mother, of Korean descent, was born in Kazakhstan before her family relocated to Kyrgyzstan. After both his parents completed their studies, they met in Russia, got married, and eventually settled in Kyrgyzstan at his mother's home. It was here where Bivol was born and lived for the first 11 years of his life.
to buy this apartment. and he made it on his name. It doesn't matter. We were married. So for 5 years he lived in the apartment of my mom, and then we moved to a small apartment that we bought by ourselves together.
While Bivol grew up, his parents took up farming, and it wasn't long before Bivol fell in love with combat sports. The Jackie Chan movie he saw early in his life left a lasting impression on him as he first picked up wushu. However, he soon realized he wasn't fond of kicking, and at 6, his father took him to a boxing gym. Life in Tokmak was particularly hard, and despite struggles for equipment, Yuri made sure he was there for his son's training sessions and tournaments. Yuri, once in an interview, recalled how his advice to his son formed the basis of Bivol's fighting style.
Harvey not going to let him continue? No.
And lands the knockout punch, closes the show.
Well, I think I said to you, Roy, earlier in the round, he's still...
He declared, "I have always told my son, don't show the spectators the snot, the blood, busted lips, and nose. Create beautiful classical boxing." The Bivol's life changed when they finally decided to move to Russia in 2002 to ensure their son got better opportunities to grow as an athlete. In St. Petersburg, the Bivols had to do with limited resources where 9 people shared a 2-bedroom flat. Yuri took up the job of a shuttle bus driver to meet the ends and feed his family.
Вот я как раз и хотел задать вопрос, а стоит Каштановым?
Здорово ли сбоку? Справа боковой?
It wasn't long before Bivol burst into fame as he became a European schools champion. By the time he turned 18, he had already racked up the senior national championship twice, and after that, he never looked back. Soon the other titles followed, and he built his professional career on the bedrock of this amateur career when he turned pro in 2014. Within 2 years, he became the WBA champion we know today. But behind his success are his parents, who moved countries to make their son a world champion. While Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev both had challenging backgrounds, they had the love of a united family that pushed them from smallness to stardom. As the youngest of 4 boys, it was a ruthless environment where everyone had to fight for everything, shaping up a warrior like Beterbiev. But apart from being a dominant force inside the ring, the 5'11" giant is also a dedicated husband, a son, and a father of 4, and likes to keep his personal life under wraps. The 20-0 boxer likes to keep his personal life under wraps and away from the limelight as much as possible. Beterbiev resides in Canada in a peaceful environment with his wife Medina and 4 kids.
Опыт 283 боя у Бивола и 78 у Кларксона по печени. То, что нужно показать здесь важно не просто победить, а победить красиво.
Medina hails from Russia, and together the couple are parents of 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls aged between 7 and 14. Considering the boxer's professional life has been on camera significantly, it is understandable that he likes to avoid cameras as a protective measure to shield his children from the relentless spotlight and fame, which can be exhausting. Beterbiev is a family man, and even though he has not shared his details in front of the media, his Instagram feed is filled with pictures of his family. Whenever the unified champion has some time, he rushes back to his home to spend it with his loved ones. His family is the strength that allows him to face the world, as without them, he might have not been able to make it to the top. Ghassan Beterbiev, a bus driver, got into an accident and lost his life. At that point, Beterbiev was only 16 and was the youngest member of the household. With refugees increasing and his father being the only income source, his siblings had to take the responsibility of leaving their endeavors and start earning for the family.
Was kann er dann deines offensiv entgegensetzen? Oh, nice, er getroffen!
In trouble right here. He's in big trouble.
And he got him on the chin!
While Artur Beterbiev's father was against boxing, his siblings never stopped him from following his passions. They were the reasons that the Quebec resident was able to avoid the streets and focus on boxing. Artur has 5 siblings, and while the boxer shields the details about most of them, his eldest brother is Abdulbeter Beterbiev, who was also involved in combat sports. After his father's demise, the IBF World Light Heavyweight Champion was aloof for almost a year. He was still boxing, but without a proper direction. A year later, he received an invitation to an Olympic boxing college in Moscow. His mother, a nurse, forced him to attend the college over 1,200 miles away from home and gave his life a strong purpose once again. His mother was sure that attending the school would take Beterbiev's mind away from his father's demise. That happened, and the light heavyweight giant is grateful to his mother for everything she has done. As a single parent of 6 in a war zone, it must not have been easy, but the way that things have turned out, she can be proud of herself.
Taking punches, he's trying to throw back, but to no avail. These fans mauling at short distance.
She is the reason behind the WBC World Light Heavyweight Champion's fire and how he has been able to overcome every struggle that came his way. Beterbiev is a child of war. He survived 3 wars alongside his family. The troubles started when the Soviet Union broke up in 1991, and the lives started becoming like hell. 2 Chechen independence wars followed this, where the Beterbiev family saw countless people die in front of them. They had to make their house a shelter home for the refugees to help everyone in need. With his career's biggest fight right around the corner, Artur Beterbiev will once again step into the ring.
Cage just does not look stable in there right now.
But he won't be alone, as his family and all those people that were saved by his family will be there. Maybe that is why his punches are so strong. However, the difference between the 2 fighters is that while Beterbiev still has all that love around him, Dmitry Bivol has lost it when it comes to his own family as a man. And the worst time to be in such a crisis is a time like this, where all his boxing sacrifices are to pay huge dividends.
Down.
Johnson goes down the right. To the court.
Johnson is in the center of the ring.
But let's see how it all plays out in the ring, whether Dmitry Bivol would tell the boxing world another beautiful tale by overcoming this adversity to become the undisputed world light heavyweight champion, or he would get overwhelmed by the pressure and lose it all. But before then, Bivol was speaking to Dazan below when they asked him about some fond memories and photos from the past, as well as looking at an Artur Beterbiev fight. Bivol enthused,
"She's full energy, she likes her son as a boxer and success and health. My father, since my childhood, he was going with me."
Okay, this is the spot, made in Madison Square Garden. Vadim and I came here, and it marked the beginning of our relationship with Matchroom. It was a trend to show your photo from 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was somewhere close to my house, then left after that, and right after. It was a photo shoot, just following the trend. He picked up another picture and explained, "This was the time when we decided to work with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. We signed the contract, and our first fight was against Joe Smith, who won by unanimous decision, still undefeated, and the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world."
Every day for my trainings.
What age did you start fighting?
Around 6 years, when I was 6 years. In Kyrgyzstan it was...
With another picture, he added, "This is one of the best moments of my life. My first son was just born, and he was only a few days old. I was surprised by the huge difference between my hand and his. This is a good memory. I won the national championship in 2014, and we celebrated with my friends." In the photo, you can see my closest friend, who is the godfather of my son. This is how we had fun. Moving on to the next, he said, "It was in Hollywood. I visited for the first time and was walking with my friend on Hollywood Boulevard. At that time, Transformers was really popular, and I was checking it out when he took a photo."
Okay, for kids to fight such early.
So when they say boxing is life, literally yours has been since the age of 6. It's been your whole life boxing.
Yeah, of course.
Another picture, another memory. This time he said, "I remember being in Russia, and there was a guy I was joking with. He's one of the heroes because he left boxing undefeated. He left as a champion like Lennox Lewis, and I wanted to take a photo with him. This is my hometown where I was born. I remember this competition well because the guy I fought was older than me by about 4 or 5 years. He was confident he would win, but I ended up winning the fight. I was happy, and he was really sad about the loss."
Of course, I don't remember myself well without boxing. You know, in my head that it's the hardest fight in my life, and I have to...
In addition, he continued, "This photo was taken last summer in Los Angeles at Griffith Observatory. It was Father's Day, and I liked this photo. This winter, I tried snowboarding, enjoying my free time outside of boxing. I attempted a jump and we captured this moment. It was before my fight against Lyndon Arthur. Usually, I feel serious before a fight. I just want to compete. Arthur is starting to get off balance now. This isn't where he wants to be, backed against the ropes. Right now, he's starting to land some power punches. This is good work. Is he going to let Arthur off the ropes to work that body shot? And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.